So I've been just really anticipating on doing this video. I just want to say, throw it out there that I'm not getting paid to say these things about Charlotte. I just want to help people that's like really looking to move somewhere that's nice and that they can live a comfortable life and just be happy. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you all all as much as information as I can about the city, so you could be able to determine whether you want to come down here, visit, or just come down here to live. But I'm gonna give it to you, in its rawest form. You understand? I want to make sure that I cover everything, right? All right. So first of all, I just want to say this: there are a lot of myths out there about Charlotte, right? One of the myths is that Charlotte is small. Now, taking heed. Let's do this. Let's do comparisons, right? Let's compare Charlotte to Atlanta, right? Now, if we're referring to Metro Atlanta, which consists of several different cities, cities such as Sandy Springs, Dunwoody, Marietta, Union City, the list goes on, Alpharetta, Roswell, the list goes on. If you're comparing Metro Atlanta to Charlotte, yes, Metro Atlanta is bigger than Charlotte. But if you compare Charlotte to the city of Atlanta, there's a difference. There's a difference now. If you compare it to the city of Atlanta, Charlotte is way bigger than Atlanta. It just is. And most people, they kind of think about, cities far as the skyline and the downtown area, and they see all of these buildings and they're like, oh, this area Atlanta has to be bigger than Charlotte because Atlanta has a bigger downtown or midtown or whatever they call it, right? But that's not the case. You have to look at the whole area, the whole land. We have more. We're heavily populated, more populated than the city of Atlanta, and we're bigger than the city of Atlanta. Charlotte is one of those cities that's really widespread. The average time to get to anywhere around Charlotte is 20 minutes. It's widespread. Charlotte is a flat city, so there's no hills or anything. It's just widespread, right? Charlotte is a millennial city. It's a new up-and-coming city, so a lot of millennials migrate down here. You have a lot of millennials that are heavily populated in the Uptown and South End area. They're building these swanky apartments along the the Lenox train line, leading up to Uptown. And they have these swanky apartments all in Uptown and just surrounded around Uptown. So the millennials, this is a millennial city. This is for young people, but then also it's fit for families, such as, I have a family. So it's not it's not like the millennials run it per se, but there are a lot of millennials that migrate here, and we get along with one another. Things to do. There you have NASCAR, you have the Carolina Panthers Stadium, the Hornets, Carowinds, which is our small version of Great Adventures. You got Carowinds, you got Whitewater Park, you had Freedom Park. Freedom Park is a nice park. It has a lake, and just they throw a lot of events in that park, especially in the summertime. You have different free events around the city. I mean, you could bump into anything that they may be throwing something in Uptown and blocking off all of the streets, and anything could be going on in Charlotte, at any area, in Charlotte. You have bars that throw. Now this is when it's warm. They throw day parties, and you easily see what's that bar off of South Boulevard. I forgot. I think it's Tyree or something like that. Yo, summers it be lit over there, and it be lit over there, right? I think it's Tyree Pub or something like that off of South Boulevard. You have a minor league baseball team that's down here. You have the Epicenter. The Epicenter is a place where you can uptown where you can go bowling. They have this movie theater where you can eat all types of things and drink beer and wine and all of that stuff. They also have stores and restaurants and clubs inside that epicenter too. Another thing about Charlotte is, and then you had the CIAA weekend that happens every year. CIAA week that happens every year around February, the end of February. The thing about Charlotte that I love the most is this, and it's crazy because I don't see a lot of cities that's like that, but Charlotte is one of those cities that's compact. What I mean by that is now this is uptown, you know what I'm saying? Uptown area and the South End area, right? You could just park your car and walk. You understand? You could walk because everything is where everything is in uptown. Like you're walking distance between the Carolina Panther Stadium and the minor league baseball stadium. You're walking distance between the Carolina Panther Stadium, the minor league baseball stadium, and the Charlotte Hornets. You're within walking distance of restaurants and bars and clubs. So when it's like hot outside, man, you'll see a whole bunch of people. Like what I'm trying to explain to you is Charlotte, it may be smaller than your New York. It may be smaller than your Metro Atlanta, but it's like how can I say? It operates like a real city. Bars and a lot of restaurants don't close, especially on the weekends. They don't close until 2 o'clock in the morning. So you can go out and you don't have to eat like Taco Bell or McDonald's. You can actually go to an Italian restaurant and it'll be open at 1 o'clock in the morning. So it operates like a real major city. The infrastructure of Charlotte is very sound. They got it going on. Like, I'll give you an example. I used to live in Atlanta, right? And Atlanta's playing the catch-up game. And there's an influx of people that's coming into the city, and they're not building fast enough. Charlotte, they're building everywhere. So you're gonna have all types of places to stay in the whole area of Charlotte. And that's what I like about it, man. Their infrastructure is sound. They're in the process right now of building an expressway. Of course, it's going to be a toll booth. But that's what the city actually needs. Transportation. You have your regular bus regular bus, and you have your public bus. You have the Lenox train. The Lenox train is like it's like two ways. It goes from from Pineville Matthews across Charlotte through uptown all the way to the university area. Then you have like trolleys that's in uptown, but they're like trains. They're trains, but we call them trolleys, right? They're building one in Betty's Fort. So the like where Johnson Wales University is, and that area is all congested and messed up. Not in a bad way. They're just building, right? Let's see what else I'll cover. Okay, so you definitely need a car, but when you're in uptown and South End in that area, you don't need a car. You definitely don't need a car. But if you're living in somewhere like where I live at, Still Creek, you definitely need a car, because it takes me like 20, depends on traffic. Sometimes it may take me 53 minutes to get from here to uptown. And that's the truth. The traffic is not as bad as Atlanta. It's not as bad as Miami's. It's not as bad as New York. But there's traffic. Hold on. Okay, places to eat in bars and places where you chill at, you know what I'm saying, and you have a good time. You got Park Road. Now that's closer towards uptown. It's a whole area. I forgot what is it? Park Road and something. It's like an intersection, but you have all types of restaurants in that whole area. I mean, you have restaurants like on one end of the street, and then you have restaurants on the other end of the street. Then there's just a cluster of restaurants in that whole area. You have, now this is the South End. You have Camden Road. South End is like right next to Uptown, right? You have Camden Road. You have South Tryon. You got College Street. You got Church Street. All of those streets have restaurants and bars and clubs all in that area. You have the Still Creek area, which is Rivergate. Rivergate has, you know, clubs. Not clubs. I'm sorry. They don't have any clubs. They have, like, you know, TGIF, Target, Best Buy. You know, what's over there? It's a whole lot of stuff over there. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 grocery stores. You have, you know, your regular Subway, McDonald's, and it's just a lot of stuff. And then in Rivergate, they also hold like different events. You know, they have free movie night where they, you know, had open, you know, props up, you know, this big screen, and you sit on the grass. I mean, yo, it's just a nice. Rivergate is a nice place. You have the university area where they have like a cluster. It's like right next to UNC Charlotte. Where they have a cluster of restaurants and food places to eat, and, you know, and places to shop, you can shop and stuff like that. Okay, what else? Weather. The weather is pretty good. It really doesn't get cold until like around November. I mean, tomorrow is supposed to drop, and we supposed to have like straight for about 7 days, like in the like 40s and 50s, which is unheard of, because earlier today I was wearing shorts, you know, but our summers are, so it goes like this. So it gets cold in November. You got December, you got January, you have February, and then March it starts to get warm, and then April you're kind of wearing shorts. Then it goes from May, it's hot, May, all the way up to like the end of October. And that's no lie. And in November, we had like 280 degree. It's like 2 days it was 80 degrees. So the weather is pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? Safety, as far as dealing with crime. There's crime everywhere. You know, you cannot, you know, walk away from crime. But it's not that type of crime like Atlanta has. You know, pretty much the city is safe. You know, it's a safe place to live. Still Creek, where I live at, is a diverse community. There's really little to no crime in Still Creek. We have our own police department, but it's still part of, you know, Mecklenburg, County, Charlotte. So it's not like we have a separate police department. Like, take for example, Atlanta has Atlanta police, and then Sandy Springs has Sandy Springs police. It's not like that. Let's see. Oh, rent. Just depends on where you want to live. If you want to live in nice areas like the university area, Still Creek, the Noda District, Central Avenue, Valentine, Midtown, Uptown, Huntersville, Pineville, Matthews, South Park, Midwood Plaza. I know this is not North Charlotte, but it's right next to South Carolina. Lake Wiley or Rock Hill. You're gonna pay a pretty penny. You know, I live in Still Creek. I got a 3-bedroom house, upstairs, downstairs, garage, nice area. I pay $14.50 a month plus HOA fees, which is about $500 a year. So it just depends on what, you know, where you want to live at, and how much room do you need. For a 1-bedroom living in a nice area, they're gonna hit you in the head for close to $1,000. You know, so it depends on what your price range is. I would say have anything if you want to stay in a nice area, anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 to work with per month. My total bills per month, and that's including car insurance and car payment and lights and water and all that stuff, is like around roughly $3,000 a month. What else before I let y'all go? Oh, jobs. They're always hiring, so you don't have to worry about that. Basically, Charlotte has turned into a tech city. And it's well known for, you know, it being a banking city as well. So if you're into tech and IT and banking, you know, far as the 2 major banks that have been established here, Wells Fargo and Bank of America, you'll be all right. Outside of that, if you're just a regular dude that you want to live somewhere nice and you know, you don't really have a college degree or whatever, you could get your job. It's not difficult to get jobs. They have jobs here. One last thing, race relations. I'm glad I brought that up. Everybody gets along. Everybody gets along. I'm not lying. Charlotte is a cool, like a hippie city. I can't explain it to you. I've lived in New York, North Carolina, Georgia, Atlanta, and I've stayed in Orlando for a short period of time. And I can tell you, out of all of those places, I like this place the most. Straight up. You got to visit. And I hope that you took notes so you can go through the notes and when you visit the city, make sure you check off everything that I said. Check it off. Check it off on your, the notes that you took, because I'm telling you, I really gave y'all some jewels. I'm telling you. So I hope I helped y'all out. If you want me to do more of these videos, I will. I probably will pretty soon. Just give you all a tour of the city to let you see. But yo, it's the best kept secret, man. It's the best kept secret. Everybody gets along and everybody is nice. I'm not lying. Straight up. And another thing too, one more thing, I don't want to hold y'all. Another thing too is, like, let me tell you something. I do several different things in order to make money, but one of them being Postmates, right? So gig apps is big down here. And what I mean by it's big down here, you can actually, like, say for example, if I only did Postmates, I could pay my rent with Postmates. Straight up. Because it's just that busy. It's like real money down here. Straight up. So I hope I helped y'all out. Other than that, I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video. My name is Langston 2092. 1.